This is a quick guide to doing research online. In this video, I'll cover common assumptions about doing research online, how to use Zotero, filters, and interlibrary loan, and how to use Google Scholar. When it comes to using the internet to find answers to our daily questions, we're all experts. What time is the movie? Is this restaurant any good? When does the bus arrive? What is Lewis up to? Each day we ask questions that we don't have immediate answers to, and we have learned to use our phones, tablets, and computers to retrieve answers in seconds using popular search engines like Google and websites like Wikipedia, Twitter, or Facebook. There are three problems that surface right away due to the accessibility and immediacy of these technologies. First, students assume that answers to our questions should surface in seconds or minutes. Second, students assume that the information is free. And third, students assume that the information is credible if it is information retrieved from the following domains: .org, .gov, or .edu. Let's tackle the first assumption. Yes, it should take seconds to know the weather, when the bus will arrive, and what time the movie will start. When it comes to more complex questions about human development, technology, religion, etc., then we have to expect to spend hours to find a few sources. Yes, you heard me right, hours. There's just no shortcut to this process. It takes time to use various databases, visit the library and/or local bookstores. As a rule of thumb, if you have spent 1 to 2 hours trying to retrieve a single source, then that's a good time to rest and evaluate the strategies that you've been using thus far. You can chat with a librarian online, which you can find on the library homepage, or walk over to the library for help. As for the second assumption, nothing on the web is free. Google and Facebook are multi-billion-dollar companies competing against each other and other media companies for your attention and deep pockets. Companies hire the best web specialists and experts to make sure their websites make the top results of Google. And this connects to our third assumption, that sites with .org, .edu, and .gov are trustworthy. Again, nothing is free on the web. Corporations sponsor research in the sciences, technology, and social sciences, so we need to question studies by universities, organizations, and our government that have been funded by corporations, private donors, our government, or other countries. For instance, our government releases a report about global warming and climate change and includes a worst-case scenario analysis. Our current Trump administration wants to omit the worst-case analysis in the next report, thereby censoring science knowledge from the public. This does not mean we should not use information from a .edu, .gov, or .org site. It only means that we need to investigate further to determine the ways political influence and funding shape the information that is shared with the public. Now, having to address these three problems with online research can be taxing and overwhelming. For this reason, academics and librarians encourage students to use their library website and Google Scholar to conduct their research. Now, this does not mean that we do not scrutinize these sources. No, we need to be just as critical of everything we read. However, if we start with the library website, we can minimize some of the problems that we run into when using Google, such as fake facts, fake news, polarizing arguments, and advertisements disguised as news. Let's go ahead and start with the homepage of the Ithaca College Library website. Okay, before we add our search terms, over here on the right is the chat feature. So just click on it and then you can send a message to the librarian. And before we get started, one more tip that will save you hours of time is the use of Zotero. So click on the site link, scroll down, and click on Zotero. Click download, and then download the Chrome extension and the Zotero app. Here's a visual of what Zotero looks like and what it does. Zotero automatically organizes all your sources and allows you to include your notes and tags. With Zotero, you can shuffle the sources by year of publication, by author, if you have a few by the same author, and according to your tags, which will help you later when you organize your writing. Let me show you how insanely quick and easy Zotero is. So let's say I'm doing research on dance literacy. I see this article here says full text available, so I go ahead and click on it, click again on full text available, At the top of the screen on the right hand side, I click on the Zotero link. I go ahead and open up the app, and then automatically the source has been added to my Zotero library. And here on the right side, I have all of the citation information automatically added. I can add my notes, I can add additional tags or use the tags that already come with this article. And so all of this is done automatically. And the nice thing is there's also a link within Google Docs, so you can actually create your references page automatically within Google Docs. It also works with Microsoft Word. Okay, let's return to my search results. I have 100,396 results. That's way too many to filter through. I'm going to use these filters on the right-hand side here to narrow my search results. If I'm being asked to do scholarly research, then more than likely I'm going to select peer-reviewed journals, and then the library catalog includes the books that are available on this topic. Now, if I'm looking for the most authoritative source, I'm probably going to focus on articles. Newspaper articles would be relevant for current events. Reviews are ideal when you're wanting to find information about a book and you perhaps don't have the time to go and read through every single book. So you can actually read reviews of the book to see which one is most relevant. And they summarize the chapters, so you can actually find the chapters most relevant to you. And then you have additional references as well if you need to find audiovisual or websites and so forth. You can narrow it by year of publication, especially if you just need something published in the last 5 years. And you can also focus in on the journal title. The nice thing about the journal title is that it allows you to focus in on a particular discourse community. So if I'm focusing on dance literacy, I'm not interested in gymnastics, I also want to focus on adults, so I'm not interested in journals about children. And then I just apply my filters. And now I've narrowed the results to 260 results. And again, I can click on the full text to access it. If you see something that does not state full text available, and I really want this source, all I have to do is click on this link here, Interlibrary Loan. You'll be prompted to log in, and then the site automatically fills out for you the information you need, and then you just simply click Submit Request. It's that easy and that fast. Let's return to the Ithaca College Library homepage so I can introduce you to Google Scholar. Our next resource that some of you may prefer for most of your scholarly research needs is Google Scholar. You can access Google Scholar through Google. However, our library pays for a license that allows us to read most of the PDFs for free. If you use Google Scholar on your own and find that perfect source, you might be prompted to pay for it. Through our library proxy or interlibrary loan, that source is free. To access Google Scholar through the proxy, click Databases, G for Google Scholar, scroll down, click Google Scholar. Okay, so Google Scholar is my favorite search tool, so I'm going to show you a few tips that I use. First, we're going to start with my search terms again, dance literacy. I found 279,000 results. First, I can narrow my search by narrowing it to the last 10 or 20 years. It's on dance, and so it's not modern medicine or technology, so I can have a pretty broad range. Next, I can narrow it by using advanced search. With advanced search, I can narrow it to the title of the article. So if I want to focus in on dance literacy specifically, then more than likely scholars are going to use that word in the actual title. In scholarly research, the titles are basically the topic and thesis of the actual article. I see this article here. If I want it, I'm going to right-click it and open into a new tab, and then I can save it into my Zotero account. And it's been automatically added to my library. And again, I come to my Zotero app, and I can retrieve all of the information there. All right, so let me show you my first tip to using a source that appears to be ideal for your research and using that source to help you find more sources on the topic. Now, I could go through 99 results, or I can look at these 33 articles. These are 33 articles that cited Why dance literacy? And I already downloaded it to my Zotero, so I already have that. And I right click it because I don't want to lose my original results page. I still want to go through these sources and skim through to see if there's anything ideal for my research. So I don't want to get lost, so I'm going to right click on everything that I want to search further. So 33 people cited this source that I think is kind of ideal for my research. So I'm going to right click this as well. And then I'm also going to right click on this link here called related articles. And this is just related by topic. Now the difference is that with related articles, they always give you 101 results to look through. Well, I already have 99 results to look through, so I kind of want to narrow that further. So I'm just going to search through the 33 results that cited this particular article. So now I'm on the page with 33 results. The cool thing about the cited by tool is that you can click on this little box and then it says here search citing articles, and I can narrow it to a single word. And so amongst these 33 articles, 3 of them talk about tango in the article. Now I don't have to look through the 30 other articles that don't talk about tango at all, and I could just skim through these 3. So again, we started off with 280,000 results, and then within minutes I was able to narrow it down to 3. Now let's say I don't want to focus just on tango, maybe I want to focus on women in dance literacy. So again, I still have this box checked, and now it's narrowed it down to 14. Or maybe it's just like something really obscure, like clothes. And so within the topic of dance literacy, I've found 4 articles that mention clothes. Okay, so it's a really, really cool function that allows you to narrow the search using other articles that you like to help you find more articles. So let me show you another tip. Let's say you find a source. This one here is by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow. And 21,511 people have cited this source. This is a very, very high number. And so what this number means that it's quite an authority amongst experts and scholars. Everyone is citing it. Now, if you find a source with a small number, this one only has 15, then typically it would be seen as sort of less of an authority. Not everybody is reading and citing this article and seeing it as significant as part of their research. And this one was published in 2012. So it's been around for 7 years. It's circulated for a while, and so it really hasn't made that much of a buzz. Now, sometimes you have numbers that are low only because it was just recently published, like within a year or 2 ago. So this one was published in 2017 and it has 53. So that's not too bad because it's only been in circulation for the last 2 years. When a source has such a high number, we want to pay attention to this source. It's probably a really, really seminal article or book in the field that you want to take a look at. Now, oftentimes, the source actually might be too old. It's like published in the 70s or 80s. And let's say it's on a topic about culture or child development or something of that nature. So more than likely you won't be able to use it for your research. However, 21,000 people thought this source was important, so more than likely I can narrow it by, let's say, the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. That's probably still too recent. And I have 14,000. I can click here. I'm going to, I'm curious if anyone done anything on Tango. And we have 72 results on the topic of thinking fast and slow, and 72 sources mention Tango. And it's something really fairly recent in the last 4 years. And so when you see a source that has that many citations, it can either be a perfect source for your research, or it's a perfect source for you to find more sources. When I'm doing research, I want to look for the experts in my field and look for the researchers that also value those same experts. First, Remember, it takes about 1 to 2 hours to find a single source. Second, question everything you find, even if they are from trustworthy sites. And last, start with the library and Google Scholar to bypass the millions of sites designed to mislead you.